Good afternoon from sacred space at Titania's realm. Off with the pixies, exhausted. Um, I've got this line from this song by Jewel. How does it go? I won't sing it, I promise I won't. I know it's terrible when I sing. But it goes something like this. People live their lives on TV, they think they're better than you, and you agree, and so on. And I feel like I'm living my life in virtual reality because I've spent so much time on making YouTube videos lately, like a person obsessed. I'm not even sure what that's about, and I don't even know if my contributions to humanity via my truth speaking and trauma processing is even beneficial to anyone. It's certainly not all that beneficial to me since I'm drained as fuck. But here we are, another day in my perpetual hell loop, and there's that word again, hell loop. Don't get me wrong, I love my life in spite of everything, but it has been a constant cyclic kind of spiraling up and down on the hurdy-gurdy ride through life. Sometimes astonishingly beautiful, like the way I've been welcomed in recent months at the Brooklyn Standard, and sometimes astonishingly surrealist and toxic and kind of evil and downright fucking terrifying, like, our governments and our our current state of Western civilization, right? So anyway, on a positive note, I'm back from visiting my new urologist. I had a follow-up appointment, and she offered me 2 medications, and I actually chose the cheaper one, which now I'm thinking was probably a mistake since the cheaper one has side effects. And she says if I get the side effects to stop taking it immediately, and in which case I'll need the more expensive one anyway. So I don't know what I was thinking. It's like I literally left my body and went into panic mode about money, and I'm so sick of living like this, in panic mode about money. It's ridiculous, people. But I've been living like this for 29 years, so there is that. So it's a habit of a lifetime, and kind of a self-esteem issue too, of not feeling like I'm deserving of the best possible medications and treatment available. But I'm conscious that I don't want my psychiatrist to be paying out of pocket for it each time, even though he's more than willing to do so, because he's goal orientated and loving and kind and wants me alive and thriving, and it's almost a matter of pride to all of us because he's seen how long and hard I fought to heal myself from my own trauma issues and my childhood and my 30s, 40s, and indeed early 50s as well. Jesus. So when I say I live in a hell loop, I'm not being florid or hyperbolizing. I really do live in some kind of hell loop. But my lovely urologist sort of found my way of expressing myself a bit confronting, I think. She went, hell loop? Well, when you come from privilege and you have a career where you're actually healing people's bladders on a daily basis, probably is confronting to have a patient tell her that they're in a hell loop and they don't know how they're surviving, and does sound awfully negative and quite frankly a bit unfucking grateful for all the support that's been gifted to me. But I'm not ungrateful. I'm extremely grateful. I'm just conscious that I'm a fucking burden one way or the other, right? And anyway, so the upshot is I've got a medication. I haven't filled the script yet. I'll do that maybe later today or tomorrow, because I came home and immediately got very sick with my tummy, which I'm sure was from lack of sleep last night and anxiety. And, I'm refusing all psychiatric medications because they didn't really help me anyway, and so I'm living life raw and ragged in my own personal hell loop. And now I have to be on a new medication to try and calm down my overactive bladder. So, and we're just trialing it. I hope it works. If not, I will need Botox in the bladder, which she explained to me means I have to be put under general anesthesia and injections. She put all these little dots of about 8 or 10 injections that go into the bladder just to stop it contracting so much. And she said there is a 5% chance of getting urine retention, which would mean I would need a catheter for the rest of my life, which she said is not necessarily a bad thing because then I don't have to ever worry about chasing down a toilet ever again. And I won't be peeing all night, and I'll be free. I'll have a whole new level of freedom because I'll be able to sleep and control my bladder output via draining my own fucking catheter. I can't think of anything worse, I can't think of anything worse, but she was quite upbeat about it and said it's actually a good thing if that happens. I just want to live in my own body naturally without any interferences, but I guess if it comes to it, it comes to it. But it's only a 5% chance of that being an outcome, so I might be fine, and I guess it's a risk that I'll have to take. So, but I'm freaking out about it. I'm really freaking out about it. But anyway, at any rate, she's referred me to the public system so I can see her through the public system, and so I can access the Botox treatment that way, because then it will be paid by Medicare. And I said to her, to be really bloodthirsty and cold-blooded about it, doctor, I said, it should be paid by Medicare and not my psychiatrist, because he didn't cause the initial wounding and the autoimmune disease I now have with my TVT tape. So she got a little bit defensive. She said, I've installed lots of TVT tapes and slings and bladders, and not everyone has these problems, Tanya. Well, no, I'm just the universal schmuck that when things go wrong, they go wrong hugely. And I explained to her that even when I had the actual surgery, I was in for 5 days with a massive bladder infection. She just stared at me. I said, it was horrific, doctor. Like, I almost didn't survive that, to be honest, to be really truthful. Day 4 of that surgery, when I didn't think I'd ever pee normally again, I was contemplating throwing myself off the roof. So I've been fortunate that since 2007, that event, 30th of October, up till the 4th or 5th of November when I came home, I've done well to have a functioning bladder this long, and it's only really been really overactive for the last 8 years, like I managed up until 8 years ago. So I have survived against all odds and against my own suicidal ideation at times. And I have survived because of the love, the agape, unconditional, and at times protective love of my psychiatrist and my true, dear, close friends. And that's it. And my own will and determination. And I guess I can express gratitude to the gods for my survival too, because without them I wouldn't have lasted this long either. The gods brought me the right people in the right circumstances to enable me to get support when it was badly needed, and just to carry me along like excess baggage this long, right? Sometimes that's how I feel, like just excess baggage or a burden, but I know that's not always real either. I haven't always been a burden, and I have tried to contribute by keeping myself safe and relatively sane and pristine. So anyway, I'm just a bit fucking frightened about the concept of maybe ending up with bladder retention and needing a catheter. I don't want that outcome. I really don't. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And she put the referral in through the Mater Hospital, which is good because I don't really want treatment at the PA or the QE2 ever again after the horrific way I've been treated there, which she deeply apologised for. Like, she's a lovely woman. I said, Doctor, it's not your responsibility how I've been maltreated in the public system. It's got no reflection on you at all. She said, I just apologise on behalf of my profession. I'm so sorry. And I said to her, well, please don't take that on board. You know, you're not like that. You're not like them. It's not your shame or guilt to bear, you know. So hopefully I'll be okay in the Mater public system, she says, with my usual anticipatory sense of dread and horror. But I will be okay if she said I will still see her, but potentially also at times a registrar, meaning if she's busy at that point in time, which is understandable, you know. So I'm happy if I'm still seeing her because I think she's a decent doctor and trustworthy, and my psychiatrist is trustworthy, so, you know, I'll go with that. But she said it will take 12 months for me to be on the public waiting list at the Mater, which is okay, that's fine. And she said she will continue to see me for the next 12 months until such time as, privately she means, until such time as I'm eligible for the public treatment and the Botox treatment, which she says the Botox needs to be repeated on average every 9 months, but it could be anywhere between 6 to 12 months. So she said ideally it would need repeating once a year, but it will depend on my own body and how long it holds in my own body, because there's no guarantee. It might be every 6 months. So that's a bit of a frightening thought, because it'll mean I'll have to be anaesthetised 6 monthly to have the Botox, right? Which means loss of brain cells. Anyway, whichever way outcome, I have to survive. I have to just accept it and be resilient and powerful in my core and fucking heal. And if I need Botox every 6 months through the public system, so be it. If it's once a year, that's preferable, but I guess hopefully, you know, I might only need it once. It just needs to just trigger the signalling in the bladder to retrain the nerve signalling in the bladder. Maybe I won't need repeat Botoxes, hopefully. I'm not sure about that though. I'm not sure. I think she did say it'll be on average yearly. So, scary thought. Oh, she also advised me to not drink any fluids, especially tea, because it is a diuretic, people. I drink the tea because it actually, well, I'm addicted to it and it calms me slightly. That's the real reason why I drink so much tea, people. But she said no more tea, preferably nothing at all to drink after 6 or 7 p.m. And I said, but I get so bloody thirsty at night, during the night, because I'm peeing all night long. So she said, yes, but if you don't drink, then it's less, there'll be less volume of fluid to output, which is common sense, really, you know. So I said, well, what do I do if I'm really thirsty? She said, oh, just wet your mouth a little bit. So I'm like, oh dear goddess, in a hot climate like this, I now have to withhold fluids at night, like bejesus. But anyway, I'll try it. It may be a simple solution rather than needing even the Botox, and I'll try the medication as well that I've been given, which she says the risks of it cause constipation and dry mouth, which I already have a dry mouth situation with the sleep apnea, and round we go, which I said I'm on a hell loop, and she got a bit offended by that. She doesn't understand what I mean by a hell loop is that one thing flows into the other, and ultimately one health issue impacts another, and another drug impacts another part of the body, and something else goes wrong, and round we go, going nowhere, getting ultimately worse health outcomes from huge impacts. I guess I'm being negative though. If I can fix the bladder, then I'll get more sleep and I will heal. I will heal and I'll get better. That's the goal, people. Yes. I think that's all I had to report about that. So, yes, really not feeling well today. I came home by bus. As soon as I came home, I was slammed with epic fucking diarrhea out of the blue, which is weird because I didn't eat breakfast and I didn't eat dinner last night, but I did have some lollies, so that probably wasn't a good idea. But I'm sure the diarrhea is as a consequence from my nerves, you know. My nervous system's just so fucking easily triggered and activated. It's like, it's also problematic. But I'm used to living like this, you know. I don't want to be on psych meds, and I don't want to exist in a semi-vegetative state, so I just have to cope with the other effects, right? It's been like this since I was a young girl, 16 years old anyway, with my tummy issues. So anyway, gee, it's a grey, miserable day out there again. It was raining when I went to the Mater private clinic, and it was raining when I came out. But I must say, I went to stop at Coffee Club to have a coffee because I arrived half an hour early because of my anxiety. I left way early again, deliberately, because things can go wrong when you take buses. You can miss a bus, you can get off at the wrong stop, you know, accidents can occur, so I like to give myself plenty of time. So I went and had a coffee, and the Indian man, I think he must be the manager or the owner of that franchise, was so lovely. I mean, I looked like a little old lady and all wan and wrung out, but he actually brought the coffee to the table and said, I don't think you should sit at this table because it gets rained on. Would you like to move to another table? And my defiant nature, I felt like being stubborn, saying, no, I want to sit here. But I realised he was being nurturing and caring, and I don't need to fight every fucking battle when people are actually trying to be kind and helpful to me, right? So I sort of looked at him a bit funny because it wasn't that rainy, you know, but I went, okay, I'll move tables over. And then he handed me the coffee and put it from the edge of the table. It was very sweet and looking at me very lovingly. I tell you what, this is going to sound freaky, people, but, you know, over many, many decades of me doing love spells and of them never working, or the few that did work like 20, 30 years ago worked so well that every motherfucker, including at Stone's Corner or anywhere I went shopping, would literally leap out of me from shop doorways and follow me down the street and invite me for coffee and acted weird. So after that, I did no more love spells for decades, people, because it was just overkill. So be careful what you do with your magical practice, people. And anyway, over the decades, I realised I was only attracting men who were dangerous and toxic and not serious or literally life-threatening. So I had to cease and desist from any hope of love there. But just lately, in the last 2-3 months since, well, really in the last 4 months, but I didn't really notice the change until about a month after Beauregard died. So it's been about four months now. When did he die? 1st of August. September, October, November, December. So it's 5 months now. But, so the last 4 months, there's been this massive shift where people are so loving to me and kind, even in the shops. Maybe I look like I'm half dead, right? They must think, oh, look at that woman, she looks terrible, I'll be super kind to her. But anyway, people, that the love energy is just so, it's beautiful, I haven't experienced anything like this on such a grand scale in my entire life before. And I'm 58 years and 9 months old nearly. Tomorrow I'll be 58 years and 9 months. So crikey people, the love is blooming around me exponentially, and that too has been astonishing, lovely, and I appreciate it, but it's been a bit of a shock to the system after decades of actually having people being so hateful and slanderous and vicious and vilifying and downright sadistic and cruel. Suddenly I have all these people that are like, no, I want to pay for your treatment. No, I want you to have a good time in the club. No, I want you to have, cheaper drinks. No, I want you to have true love partnerships and hope you find someone lovely. No, I want you to thrive. I want you to succeed. The thought's there, even though it hasn't quite manifested yet. It's the thoughts are there, the intentions, the honourable, heartfelt, sweet, beautiful intentions are truly there. I can see people literally light up in front of me when they look at me like, ding, like some light's gone on. So yes, my analogy is that all my love spells have come to fruition all at once, but in a most extraordinary, albeit delightful way, right? So love is the law, love under will, my will, choosing a loving life surrounded by good, kind, supportive, nurturing, protective, caring, honouring, respecting, affectionate, heartfelt, loving people is manifesting right now. It's astonishing. I'm kind of in shock, still recalibrating from the shock of it after the last horror when Beauregard died, where I was actually seriously thinking that I would have to end my life because I couldn't take any more negativity and horror. I just can't. So I'm grateful for the love that's been shown me in recent months. It's a sign from the gods that life can and will get better. And when I sort my health issue out with my bladder, which is the main problem at the moment, life will be exponentially better. And from a place of better health and strength, I'll be able to manifest maybe a true love and prosperity as well. But let's not get too greedy, people. Let's just focus on getting my health right one day at a time. But anyway, so that's my thoughts on today, where I'm at today. And I continue with reading my journal entries of each day. I did post 2 videos last night of old readings from my former website of poetry and prose I'd written, and that too was kind of intense and astonishing for me to read through again. I have come a long way, and I can see why my psychiatrist is fighting so damn hard for me, and why he really, really cares about me as a human, because reading through all of those, I can see what a long, hard fight I've put up for my place, my sacred space on planet Earth, in my own body, mind, spirit, soul. I fought hard to maintain my own integrity as a soul and to be me. right? Oh, the other funny thing that happened with my urologist before I left was she booked me in for an appointment, and the first available appointment was the 6th of March, and the next one was the 13th of March. So I said to her, I'll take the 13th of March. She said to me, oh, why not the 6th? I said, the 6th is my asshole dead father's birthday, and so I will not be in a good headspace on that day, and I will not be wanting to have any appointments or see anyone on that day. I said, sad but true. I said, I know it's a very strange thing for your patients to be telling you that they want to avoid an appointment on their dead father's birthday, but I said it's a major fucking trigger for me. And I said, I know I'm unusual. And she said, you are a very unusual, unique, colourful character, Tanya. We both kind of giggled about it, but I did feel a bit awful. I said to her, yes, I'm not like other people, and I never will be. There was too much rewiring done on my brain since early childhood, and I'm not wired like other people, which is why I'm treatment resistant with a lot of medications, and why I'm determined to live my life as healthily as possible without medication. So even needing medication for my bladder, which is a necessity, is still deeply upsetting to me that I'm reduced to getting back into that treadmill of, the medication treadmill. But it is what it is, and I have to try, see if I get an improvement, right? And it will be okay. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you because, I think she was a bit astonished by that statement that it was my dead arsehole fathers. People who come from loving families and are successful scientists, doctors, anyone in the higher strata of society, by and large, unless they've come from poverty themselves and worked their way up by sheer grit and determination, which I was unable to do given my cumulative traumas. But apart from those kind of souls, and I have got high up specialist friends who did do the hard yards and are highly successful. But most people that come from a space of privilege have no concept about what it means to have had an asshole father that didn't protect you as a child from the family pedophiles, and that didn't protect you as an adult woman either. In fact, were blatantly predatory, waited till you became an adult woman, pregnant with your firstborn, before they actually predated on you. It's just so fucking ghastly. And when you come from nice, respectable, well-educated, genuinely loving, nurturing people, family, community, tribe, you can't imagine what it would be like to walk in my moccasins. So I am frightening and confronting to the uninitiated that haven't lived through it, right? But I've survived against all odds, and I will continue to do so, and ultimately fucking thrive, babies. I'm on the journey to thriving. I already started it 3 years ago by making jewellery. Oh, I had a lovely compliment from a young lady when I was waiting for the bus. She admired my earrings, and I said, I make them myself. I said, I think I have another couple of pairs put aside. I said, they are available for sale. She said, oh no, I'm not wanting to buy them, but she said, I just think they're very cool, and how clever are you to make them yourself, which I thought was lovely. She admired my rings as well. So, I haven't been a complete waste of space, people. I have tried to, create and make beautiful things given my limited budget and limited funds. So, ultimately everything boils down to money and class system and self-esteem issues and value, and there goes the king parrot flying across the neighbourhood. I have to remind myself of my value on this planet, even though I don't have the same value as other people. My values are a bit disconnected from what the rest of my peers value, which is money and status and achievements. My only achievement is continuing to exist against all the odds, really. But there's so much love out in the world for me and people cheering me on, and I appreciate and honour that. So memories, 11th of January 2023, which is now 2024. Staying alive in a zombie apocalypse, and a reminder of an old flame that sizzled out on this day in 2015. Marco, fun, but another dead shit, rolls eyes. Yes, that was interesting to say the least. Here I post a meme. It says, can you see it? Anyway, I don't think you can see it clearly. It says, teleport. I stood there all day. Nothing. It's just my dark sense of humour and my spirituality. Sometimes it would be nice to just be teleported somewhere else, somewhere better, somewhere more salubrious, somewhere with a better outcome. But no, I have to manifest it from the gravel rash of my own life and smile while doing it and dance while doing it and rejoice while doing it. Meanwhile, dragging my health issues around and feeling half emptied out and evacuated most of the time, including physically and spiritually, I have to blow life back into myself, sometimes many times a day if I'm having a shitful day. And no one can understand that but me, and perhaps my psychiatrist. He understands me. He's one of the few individuals on this planet that does. Thank the gods for that too. So today I wrote, this morning actually, today I heal. Barely any sleep, but hitting the ground running. Off to my urologist this morning. Hopefully we begin treatment. Not much sleep with my anxiety, but I am here having a quick coffee at the coffee club before my appointment. The service is excellent. I feel positively fussed over. It's a rainy day, but the atmosphere is light and joyous. And here I am, looking a bit fragile, but smiling anyway. I'm actually I'm starting to look, in some of my photos, even I notice it, starting to look like a sweet little docile little old lady. It's so sweet. And no one would suspect, looking at that photo, that beneath is a writhing, wild volcano that's only just carefully tamped down just below below my fiery eruptions. And I mean that spiritually, like I'm not in a writhing bad temper all the time or anything like that, but just this feeling of I'm just keeping a lid on things, you know. Containment, as my psychiatrist calls it. 11th of January 2023, I posted a YouTube video. I don't even know what it is now. Meh. And then I posted, Cardinal George Pell is dead. My heart goes out to his survivors today. No justice, but it's over now. Those are my feelings on that whole issue. I know he got released from prison and they tried to whitewash it, that he's all innocent. Hogwash. That's my thoughts on that, and I'm not changing my opinion on that. 11th of January 2022. Yes, actually thinking about it, I did write a whole story about how I walked around in a disassociative state when I heard news of his death, and that's been removed. I've just realised it's missing. Malfeasant silencing of truth yet again. But anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. I remember well though, because I had a debrief with my psychiatrist, Brian, and he said to me, you're in a dissociative type fugue state because you've upset yourself over the fact that he's died and there's no recourse to his victims. I said that's absolutely correct. That these dirty bastards live long and prosper at the expense of survivors and get away with it while we struggle for the rest of our lives. It's completely evil is what it is. Completely fucking evil. 11th of January 2022. 11:11 a.m. I keep seeing 11s in recent days. This means another shift is occurring for me personally and the planet. Be ready for anything. The angels are demanding we notice all synchronicities. Is it good? Is it bad? It just is. Stay beautiful, stay fierce, stay in love with life and each other. Hold your ground, hold the line, smile. The universe is way, way bigger than our government psychopaths. Bigger than COVID and all its variants. Bigger than all of human foibles and inequities and frailties. Bigger than the evil ones. Big, big, big. Magnificent. Trust in that, smiley face. As above, so below. As within, so without. By the way, that's a quote from Hermes Trismegistus. It's, basic tenet of kind of alchemy, really. Beginnings of alchemy, anyway. Know thyself and step into your body autonomy and your power. Words to the wise, right? 11th of January 2021, 9:01 a.m. I had very little sleep but woke up at 7:49 a.m. Dragged myself out of bed, stripped the bed linen off, started washing. I have had breakfast and am sitting under the frangipani trees and observed with delight the arrival of the king parrot, who casually sailed above my head en route to his favourite tree in the garden, which is kind of interesting because we observed him flying over before, didn't we? Well, I did, and I told you about it. He landed above it on the bough of the golden rain tree, then glided immediately to the jade tree. I took 2 photos of him on both trees. He was happily perched there when the Bo decided to chase him away. I chastised Bo. I said, "Oh, Bobo, I like that bird. But it's okay. My king will come back. He always comes back." The bird, I mean, not human men, but the bird always comes back. Well, it's true, isn't it? I'm trying to figure out where his queen is. He has not been with her the last 2 visitations. Perhaps she is sitting on their nest. He's a spectacular bird. Before the Bo chased him away, he was looking back at us as Charlie was twittering away on the wooden table beside me. I think the king parrot is fascinated with this human and her bird and even her pesky dog. I am so tired, yet somehow energized. I'm thinking that I might continue with painting folk art flowers on a small bookcase or shelving unit I started many months ago. I had painted it black and used it as a display for my witchy herbs, but decided it was too small, so I put it in the bedroom, then got sidetracked with sanding back the marble tabletops and then the decoupage projects. But I really think it's time I finished it. I also have to sand back the pink marble table as I made a mess of the resin on that one. So need to do it again. Arg. Both those items are in the spare bedroom. As it's a lovely sunny day, I put the last of the paper pulp I made a few days ago out in the sun to dry completely. So that will be another task completed. I am slowly chipping away at things, even with my bad back and crazy verkachte menopause. I'll show you the little bookshelf I'm talking about. So, gotta be careful because for some reason my video doesn't like me turning the phone around to show things. But anyway, I painted the little, that's the top, the little folk art type little paintings on the edge of each shelf. And then on the side, this was after Soxy passed away, so it's sort of a memorial to Sox. I painted like this. Oh, I see it's gone all discoloured though. That's not good from the varnish. I have to redo that. But anyway, anywho, I painted like the Mexican Sacred Heart and a painting I did of socks. And underneath it some more folk art flowers. And at the time I painted it, my beautiful Beauregard was still alive, but I balanced it out with another Sacred Heart and a painting of my Bobo, which now serves as kind of a memorial, although he was very much alive at that time. And also more, how can I show it to you? More folk art flowers underneath. So it's kind of very Polish looking, very, very Slavic looking, but I love it. And I'm happy with how that came out. It was just a shitty little shelf that I actually found on the side of the road some years ago, and what we call here in Brisbane curbside collection, right? So I rescued it and brought it home and decided to do it up. And it looks lovely now, and it was free, and it's art, and it also serves a purpose as furniture. And So that's kind of the kind of things I've been doing with my life all through the last 4 years of COVID, right? The COVID epoch was everyone else ran around with their heads cut off thinking we're all going to die, and I was like, no, we need to be creative, we need to get busy, we need to live our best life, we need to fight with everything we have, including our words, our art, for the musicians amongst us, our music, you know, my actor daughter with her acting and playwriting and directing, you know, just be the best version of yourselves. Find your passion. Some of you it's sport, which I've never been interested in, but for some of you that's your passion. You know, others it's model building or knitting or whatever it is, wherever your interests lie. Just do it joyously and triumphantly, and keep doing it until you get bored and find another hobby, like with me, silversmithing as well. And just do what you love and be whom you are. And yeah, no matter what ugliness surrounds us, stay in love with life. I got very sad news today. My best friend Jared's got some serious health issues going on, which are a bit confronting and frightening. And he needs to have some more, he needs to see a cardiologist to make sure that he doesn't have too much damage to his heart. And anyway, those are private issues, so I won't go into it. But anyway, he's been unwell for quite some time and hadn't realised. So it's a bit of a worry actually, and I've got my ongoing struggle with my bladder too, which I'm feeling fragile about. So we're all feeling a bit wrung out and a bit bloody fragile. So to the young people, I need to remind you, while you're young is the best times in your life. So don't let any bastards grind you down. Get free of any and all abusers if you possibly can, because life is short and you need to enjoy every moment of every day and not have your youth stolen from you by poor outcomes, because eventually you too will get old and your health will become fragile and worrisome, because that's just the natural part of life. We get old and we go into various states of decay. So I have one regret, and that was that my youth and my most powerful and beautiful and potent times of my life were completely destroyed by abusers from within my own family of origin and marriage, and the vicious people that entered my life after my divorce as well. I literally lost decades of what should have been the best time of my life to be the most productive and the most fucking majestic to abuse and trauma. And here I am, old, struggling financially and physically, producing as much as I possibly can with my videos and my creativity, time fighting and space banditing, if the truth be known, wanting to live as fully and as vibrantly and triumphantly and at times defiantly as I possibly can, as too much was stolen from me by evil people, not just the material and financial things, but, you know, eroded my health and eroded my ability to form loving relationships. Just, it was fucking epic, people. Epic. Anyway, I continue on because I'm still smiling, I'm still striving for a beautiful life, and it could still happen. It could and it can, and I'm working towards that goal, with or without meeting or finding a loving partner. If I have to do it alone for another 30 years, I have to do it alone. It is what it is. 11th of January 2020. This evening, now isn't that interesting to paraphrase what I just said to you? This evening, so that was 4 years ago today I wrote this. This evening I had a reminder that I need to invest in myself more. I will need to honour my instincts and impulses more. When I let myself down, it's like stomping on my own foot. Gah. And yes, I should have got that better medication. Maybe I should ring the urologist, say I've changed my mind and I'll go with a more expensive medication. But $60 extra a month is actually a lot. It's $15 a week. I guess it's doable though. I don't know why I settled for the cheaper option. It's almost like self-harming and feelings of unworthiness. I need to invest in myself more. (11th of January 2019). I spent the day spring cleaning my boudoir, windows, and rather laboriously washing down the wooden blinds encrusted with dust and grime took hours. I am washing my mattress protector and 2 pillows, so will probably have to sleep in my spare room tonight, as they won't be dry in time to remake the bed. I washed all the ornaments and shadow box knickknacks too. Washed my 4-poster with lime/mandarin vinegar to get rid of dust, and took down the curtains and the Rajasthani thing that hangs over my bed and washed them. I still have the floors to vacuum and mop, but I'm quite exhausted from the spring cleaning of just one room. It smells lovely in there, as I also put the sweet orange essential oil my neighbours gave me in the diffuser. Also, it feels good knowing I have cleaned almost everything. Maybe some of the spiritual attacks will ease off now my personal space is purified. Cleanliness really is next to godliness. At least it's raining at last, soothing to the meridians. 11th of January 2018, schwitzing hot day. I just took a shower, now wet from fresh water instead of my own sweat. Time to go back to the beach, I think. I hope the humidity is broken by a nice storm, but not sure if any are predicted. Yesterday, I finally cracked open my new yoga mat. It's funny because I never stick with things. That's why I'm laughing. And took it outside on the grass and watched a few beginners yoga videos. I did not have the core strength to hold the downward dog position for very long, and got the giggles at my overly huge hobbit feet and my large belly getting in the way of everything. The yogi was a lithe, fit woman in perfect proportion. No amount of yoga can fix my oddly shaped body, but I will be lithe too. Oh dear goddess, I would have been if I'd stuck at it, right? In time, I will tone that flabby gut, and although my clod-hopping feet will always look odd, I won't care, as I will be just beautiful the way I am. Manic denial, people. All I gotta do is commit to doing yoga every day. Yeah, I know, commitment phobe, but dancing has done me well, and so will yoga. I feel so integrated already. Charlie managed to poop all over my mat in the 30 minutes I was using it. Gaia froze towards the end of the third video, so I had to give it up, wash the mat, and just roll with the disappointment. Bobo was fascinated by Mama's downward dog, so he brought a bone to chew right next to me. Hard to focus with fur children and feathery poop slingers, but I did it. 11/1/2018, which all add up to the number 11. Does it? 2018 does. Yeah, so 11/1 and then 2018 makes an 11. So anyway, I wrote, gonna be a spiritual day. Enjoy. This is when I was fascinated with the 11s I kept seeing constantly, people. 11th of January 2017, I shared a meme. You are going to be fine. You come from a strong line of lunatics. I wrote, I do, I really do. I am not fine, but I outlive the bastards, so that is a start. Today I threw my mother's rug on the compost. Decluttering continues. Not well, antibiotic-related diarrhea, nausea, few hives, mild temperature. Jesus. Apparently this is common even up to 2 months after finishing a course of antibiotics. I finished the strong antibiotics last Wednesday, a week ago. Been crook with tummy issues since Sunday. I will have to buy Inner Health Plus probiotics from the chemist, and if no better, go to the hospital. On top of this, the dry socket is still not healed properly. I can't bear another course of antibiotics as this has really made me sick. So more rest, probiotics, and taking care of myself. Karen brought a chicken, salads, chocolate cake, Jack Daniels, and ingredients for a potato bake. She is staying here with me tonight. We have had a lovely dinner and spent the night watching Heartland. It is lovely to have her company. Yesterday I had Jared and Harvey's company as well. I am happy and grateful for my beautiful friends, human and animal. Louise wrote, Tanya, that's so awful for you. I hope you're feeling better soon. I am glad Karen and Jared have been with you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And Julie wrote, antibiotics won't heal a dry socket. I have never had antibiotics for that. All they did was pack it and it was fine. Hope you feel better soon, Tanya. I replied, dentist gave them to me as he said the bacteria causes the pain in the bone. Really strong ones. But now I'm crook anyway. Fuck my life. Soldiering on as per usual. 11th of January 2015. 4:23 a.m. Still awake. Grr. Some vile creep that drove me to the brink of suicide rang me at 1 a.m. She kept me talking till 2ish. I only had 5 hours sleep on Saturday night morning. I was sure I would be in a deep sleep tonight. No dice. Yeah, dealing with fucking raging fucking borderlines will do that to you, honey. Utterly exhausted, sore skin on back from heat rash, sore muscles from dancing, reflux, sleep deprived. What the fuck? At least my mood is better. Yesterday was stressful with Talia, Gail and Christina. I need a holiday. Might as well read a book as I won't sleep now. Last night was wild, romantic, passionate, fun, amazing, surprising and mind-blowing. Amidst all the crazy, intense male attention, one of my most persistent suitors, whom I have fended off for over 2 years, revealed his true intentions. I was totally taken by surprise. Imagine the surprise when I found out those weren't true intentions, but just him trying to finagle to get me back into bed, right? God, I was a fucking idiot in those days. But let's be fair, I wasn't well and he was handsome and passionate. So it was tempting for a girl, well, a woman. And I've read that. Sorry, I'm really quite tired, people. Really quite drained today. Didn't sleep much last night, so excuse me. After we finished dancing, we had a drink and sat a short while, then headed outside. We shared and smoked one of my Wee Willem cigars while I took off my shoes and stockings. We walked the streets laughing and joking with each other. At one point he said, "Jump up." So he braced himself. It was very childlike, really, when I think about it. And I ran the 8 feet and leapt up into his arms, wrapping my legs around his waist. It was ridiculous and fun. I am much heavier than he, and I half expected him to drop to the ground with my excess weight. He didn't. I have never done that with any of my partners in my entire life. It was like being a teenager, both of us kidding around and feeling free. It was just what I needed after being besotted with Dave, who was as cold and ambivalent as the grave, which is why the best he can do is park up behind me at red lights opposite the graveyard, right? It's right at home there, babies. Cold and ambivalent as the grave. Hard to contemplate that I had been missing out on so much fun with a man who was fire and warmth and excitement like me. A balm for a pained, aching soul and a pleasure of the heart, mind and body. Sighs. I wonder if this was just a brief interlude of mutual insanity, or if there is more to aspire to. Que sera, sera. And unfortunately, alas, it was just a brief interlude of mutual insanity, and frankly, my dear, Marco was more insane than I was, and that's saying something. And there was no future in it, so had to let that go. But I must admit, that was a beautiful evening we had together. It was hilariously silly and nonsensical and a bit fun, and it's a happy memory. There's one happy memory from one of my lovers I've got. It's not all horror and regrets and sordidity and abuse. Sometimes there's a few delightful anecdotes to share too. Pity there's not more than just a few rare delightful anecdotes though. 11th of January 2014. Am home for a while, going back to name redacted's place tonight from 5 to 9ish. Then going to go out to Irish Murphy's for the night. Need a blowout of dancing, although my back is sore, so might not be able to leap about too much. And that's interesting that my back was sore then on the 11th of January because I met Dave on the 21st of February, so a month and 10 days later, and my back was really bad then. So I don't know what was going on with my back in early 2014, but it wasn't good, people. Anyway, 11th of January, 2012. Lynn took me shopping today and back to her house for a lovely swim in her pool. Woohoo! Tonight I'm going to South Bank with Crystal and Jared for a picnic and another swim. And thus concludes my readings of Even Date. And yes, funny little memories of Marco. January 2015. 2015 I was struggling quite badly with depression, and actually in September of that year, 22nd of August of that year, after intense harassment, bullying, systemic abuse, threats of defamation, broken love affair, when I finally thought I ended things with Dave. And also the disappointment over Marco too, because I did like him too, but you wouldn't go anywhere. And attempted suicide. But anyway, that creature I mentioned, that I withheld her name, harassing me constantly that year, was too much for me too. So 2015 was one of the worst years of my life, and I've had many fucking bad Anni Horribili, but that I think had to have been the worst, because it was just so many fronts I was fighting, in every vector of my life. It was just too much. I still don't know why I'm alive today, but here we are, rejoicing, soldiering on, smiling, creating, and tomorrow, my darlings, dancing. So on that note, have a beautiful day wherever you are in the space-time continuum, and stay free, stay wild, stay beautiful, stay in love with the people who love you back, heartfelt and genuine, and just wave goodbye to the rest. And as I always like to say, never, ever, ever let the bastards grind you down. So, sign crew. There's a lot of activity going up and down my street. It's a bit odd. Anyway, on that note, bye for now, and take good care, people of Earth and my YouTube audience and my true loving friends and family, and anyone who stumbles across my videos. God's bless always. Bye for now.